I love to read the newspaper with a cup of my favorite tea. And I love to read my favorite newspaper, the New York Times. Now, you're probably wondering, what is a newspaper? I'm going to show you some pictures.
Here are some wonderful people reading a newspaper. A newspaper is put out every day with important information for your everyday life. Now, these people are reading the newspaper because they want to be kept up to date on important information. Here's another little boy reading a newspaper. And inside of newspapers are articles. Articles are short, nonfiction stories inside of the newspaper that give you important information. That important information is read every single day inside of newspapers or sometimes in magazines. But magazines are only put out every month, filled with fiction and nonfiction.
Newspapers are no longer just paper anymore. They're online, like how I was reading earlier. Newspapers can be found on a computer. So many people read a newspaper to find out what's happening in the world today, right now. Newspapers come out every single day with new information that is very important to us. Like, for example, we have a pandemic going on right now, the COVID-19 pandemic. And newspapers update their information about that pandemic so that way people stay informed and know exactly what's happening so they can make smart choices. Today, we're going to look at a couple newspapers, and we're going to learn what types of things are inside of a newspaper. You ready?
All right, so here is the newspaper that I was reading. And at the tippy top here, you see the title. The title of this newspaper is The New York Times. This title is the name of the company that creates the newspaper. And you'll see information like the weather, and you'll see information about the stock market, but you'll also see articles, all these different articles that are short stories or small little stories inside of the newspaper. Let's look at an article up close. This article, again, is short nonfiction stories inside of the newspaper that give you information, important information. Like this article begins right here. And this article is about how butterfly populations are increasing in 2019. And I read that by reading the title. Again, here is an article about how kids can change the world with saving how much water we use. And here's another article. Can you figure out what this article is about? Pause the video. Yeah, I'm going to look at the title of this article. Two bunnies need an end for their story, so hop to it. This is an article we are going to read this week. What's the title of this article? That's right, the title is right here. Why is this girl bald? I've circled it here for you in the black circle. A title is very important because just like our other stories we read, it tells you a little bit of information of what the story is going to be about. This right here, what I've put black lines around, this is not quite the article yet. This is called a subheading. A subheading tells you a little more information than what the title will about what the article is about. Like I said, the title is the name of the article, and the subheading is the main idea of the article. The main idea is what this article is mostly about. We talked about this before when we were reading our book, All About Money. Now, this article is important because it's going to give us some information we need.
So what do you think? Newspapers are really important. And more specifically, the articles that go inside them are even more important. So this week, you are going to be reading an article from another newspaper that's called Why Is This Girl Bald? Now, it's a really interesting story that has to do with what she does with the money that she saves, the money that she fundraises.
Now it's your turn. Take out a piece of paper and answer these questions. What is a newspaper and why is it important? My second question is, what is an article? Again, take out a piece of paper, write these questions, and answer them. Take a picture and send it to our DMs. Happy learning!